Hey everybody, so I'm back out here messing with the Massey again. I pulled my snake camera out and yanked the injectors out. Got those out. Took that snake camera and looked down into each one of the piston cylinder, or into the cylinders. Take a gander at what was going on, see if I can spot any rust or anything. Not a thing. The pistons were all in good shape. Those cameras work pretty darn good. Like Bluetooths or something to your phone, and you can use your phone to view what it is seeing. It's like 6 feet of cable for it. But that wasn't the problem. In the last video I said that I call the engine stuck. I didn't want to call it seized. Well, the problem was starter and the flywheel. Let me show you. So I yanked the starter out after talking to my neighbor. He's seen the video that I posted, and sure as shit, busted tooth on the Bendix here, whatever you call it, the starter gear. When you go around, you can see how rounded it is on each corner. That tells me that this thing is not popping out, because basically when the starter engages, it pops out to engage the flywheel, and it must not be popping out all the way. It's only catching on the corners. So I am going to need a new starter, but for right now, I'm not going to replace the starter, but I'm going to clean up that tooth a little bit. It's been busted for a while. The other thing is flywheel. Let me show you. Let's get in here. So if you look, yeah, you can see that the teeth on that flywheel are pretty chewed up. Look at that. That right there, the one you're looking at, it just happened to marry up. Busted tooth on the starter, and 2 or 3 of the most gnarly teeth on the flywheel just happened to marry up together. But lucky for me, the engine is not seized. Show you here. It actually turns pretty freely. So it does turn, but which is a blessing. But I am going to have to get in there with a file and clean up these teeth on the flywheel. And the only way to replace that flywheel is to yank the engine and everything else, and I'm not going to do that. Old ass tractor. It's been like I said, it's been that way for a while. So those 2 spots just happened to turn off. The flywheel in that position, the starter in the position with the busted teeth, and it was just not allowing the Bendix to actually engage correctly, and it was like, gave the appearance of it being locked up. Problem is, there's no place to turn this engine over manually without pulling the starter out and doing what I just did with the flywheel. Shaft in the front right here, as you can see, this shaft, there's nothing to grab a hold of to actually spin the engine here. Otherwise, it would have been a simple put a bar on it, or you know, a breaker bar with a nut, but there's no place to do that. You can see, to spin this pulley to turn the engine to where at least I could have cleared a couple of those gnarly teeth on the flywheel to get it to turn over. So, but problem solved. So, stuck diesel engine wasn't the engine, it was the starter, with some pretty ugly teeth on the flywheel. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm happy. Fuck. It'll be nice. I'll just put it all back together again now, and like I said, I'll get it to where those teeth will not marry up as easily as they did, and it should crank over. So, well, I got the Massey all put back together again. Got that starter back in it again. I'm just gonna have to roll with it. So when I first hooked it up, there's a ignition wire back there. You can maybe see the blue tip right there. So that connection, when I was tightening it down, didn't notice it, of course, broke the wire right there. And when I went to start it up, I got nothing, not even a click. So I was getting ready to pull the starter back out, thinking it's just fried and that's it, it's done. And that's when I discovered the broken wire. So I spliced in a new connector and reconnected it and hooked everything back up again. Bled the fuel line, of course, like you have to with these tractors. When they sit for a while, even you get air in the fuel line, so sometimes you got to bleed them. But they have a little handy-dandy hand pump right here on the fuel pump, so that you can manually pump fuel through the line. So let's start her up now that I got it all back together again. Push that in. Battery's hooked up. Check, check, check. We're not in gear. Fucking thing rolling forward. All right. Yeah. Nice. Told you, it purred like a kitten before I parked it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the hood and everything back on it now, so. But, yeah. Nice. So, stuck engine, hoping not to be a seized engine, turned out to be the starter. So, lucky me. All right, well, now it's time to start digging some holes. All right, guys, thanks. Hope this video helped somebody out.